if your Wi-Fi could recognize you without seeing your face? No camera, no microphone, no GPS. Researchers have demonstrated that Wi-Fi beamforming signals can contain enough information for an artificial intelligence system to identify people from the way they move. In a study called BFId, researchers tested this idea on nearly 200 people and achieved an astonishing 99.5% identification accuracy under their experimental conditions. But how can an invisible Wi-Fi signal recognize a human being? Wi-Fi isn't just carrying internet data. As radio waves travel through a room, they interact with everything around them. Walls can reflect or absorb the signal, and when a person moves through the signal, their body changes the way those radio waves propagate. The signal can be reflected, scattered, refracted, and transmitted differently. These changes contain information about the environment and potentially about the person moving through it. Normally, Wi-Fi hardware uses this information to improve communication. But researchers asked a different question. Could this information reveal who is walking through the Wi-Fi field? Modern Wi-Fi uses a technology called beamforming. Imagine a Wi-Fi router with multiple antennas. Instead of simply broadcasting in every direction, it can use information about the wireless channel to steer transmissions toward a receiving device. To do this, the client sends information back to the access point. This is called beamforming feedback information, or BFI. And here's the surprising part. BFI contains information about the characteristics of the wireless channel. The researchers discovered that this information can also contain patterns associated with a person's movement. So the Wi-Fi system isn't recognizing your face, it is learning your radio signature. The researchers created a large experimental dataset. They recorded 197 participants. People walked through a Wi-Fi sensing area using different walking styles. They tested normal walking, walking with a backpack, carrying a crate, walking faster, and walking through a turnstile. And they also recorded Wi-Fi information from 4 different perspectives. The researchers simultaneously collected both BFI and CSI, another type of wireless channel information traditionally used for wireless sensing. For the BFI experiments, usable recordings from 161 participants were available. Next, the researchers fed the BFI data into a machine learning model based on an LSTM, a type of recurrent neural network designed to learn patterns in sequences over time. The model wasn't given a description of how each person walked. Instead, it learned patterns directly from the Wi-Fi recordings. And the result was remarkable. 99.5% plus or minus 0.38%. Under the study's experimental conditions, the system could correctly identify individuals from their Wi-Fi signal patterns with extremely high accuracy. And there was another surprise. The researchers expected traditional CSI to perform better. Instead, BFI performed substantially better than their CSI-based system, which achieved 82.4% plus or minus 0.62%. Not quite. This is where the study needs an important qualification. The 99.5 figure does not mean that any Wi-Fi router can identify any stranger anywhere with 99.5% accuracy. The experiment involved known participants and a controlled environment. And when the researchers trained the system from one perspective and tested it from a substantially different perspective, identification accuracy could fall dramatically. In some cross-perspective experiments, accuracy was below 5%. So, this is a powerful proof of concept, not a universal human identification system. The bigger issue isn't just the accuracy. The researchers argue that BFI can potentially be collected passively without requiring access to the Wi-Fi infrastructure itself. Their threat model assumes an attacker can record relevant Wi-Fi information while simply being within range. That means Wi-Fi infrastructure could potentially become an unexpected source of biometric information. Unlike a camera, there may not be an obvious indication that someone is being sensed. So, the next time you walk through a room filled with Wi-Fi signals, remember, your router may not have a camera, but the radio waves around you are interacting with your body. And researchers have now shown that those tiny changes can contain enough information for AI to learn who is walking by. Your Wi-Fi may know more about you than you think. If you found this surprising, follow for more science discoveries explained simply.